Good Friday morning, YouTube. Welcome to another Card Market Watch. Today we're going to do something slightly more different than what we normally do. We're going to do higher rarities. We're going to do some Starlights, we're going to do some Ultimate Rares. We've done some in the past, but now we're going to have a look today. Prices are going up and down with some of these, especially some of the collector rare cards have come down considerably. But we'll have a look in the market, we'll see what's going on, and we'll see what we can get you guys today. So, see you in the video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you can. And as everything helps the channel. See you in the video. So, we're just going to go for a quick episode today. Hopefully we can get it under 10 minutes. But, Black Star Soldier, end of the beginning. Collector's Rare, for all of you people who pulled it, or got lucky and pulled it, or somehow traded for it very cheaply because your friends don't know value of things. There's some people out there like that. Don't think there isn't. Cheapest is in English. Let's have a look at this, because pictures have been a bit funnier, some of these, because the English, for some strange reason, have had like weird edging. As you can see, there's some very weird edging on top corners at least. So yeah, that's the issue. People have speculated, how true this is, that they were printed by a different company for both the American and the European prints, but for whatever reason, both the American English and the standard, I don't know what you would call it, English, British English, are damaged. If you have a look, a lot of the collector's rare corners have like slight scuffs on them, so they've sliced down, and as they come up, they've like flicked the back of the cards. They've got slight bends in them, and if you're thinking, has this happened? Well, quite easily. If you cut a lot of cards, those pieces of metal are very thin. Like they're probably like 2-3 mils thick, if that. And they slice, and so by the time they get to the end of the run, those blades, instead of being just flat, honestly, instead of being like that, they start to curve in. So they start slicing like that. So it's like, oh yeah, they look normal because they go down properly. But then when they get pulled out quickly, because they literally just go slice, they start flicking the back up, just start flicking the edges. So yeah, there seems to be a lot of issue with like corner and like side wear on these cards already. People open and pack fresh. All the other cards are perfect, but the collector's rares have all got damage, which is where you see quite a lot of the English on here being like good condition as opposed to great condition, which is very worrying since they literally just got pulled like this last 2-3 weeks. But yeah, we have missed the cheapy ones of these. These were down to 180 at one point, and then there was a few in the middle, and then these are the cheapest now. Cheapest English. Again, like I said, a little bit of corner wear on both corners there. German. That gem looks nice and clean. Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy the End. This is down to you, what you think is like the highest rarity. If you think Collector's Rare is the highest rarity, then you go for it. If you think Ultimate Rare is the highest rarity, you go for that. If you think Secret Rare is the highest rarity, you go for that. Now, what I will say is, the likelihood of this being actually in good condition, again English, same with French, production error, so look at the production error, has that got the weird print mark on it? Yeah, see, it's got like the crumpled corners. Yeah, see, a lot of people are saying the same thing, like they're getting like really bad English. Well, sorry, that looks nice. Can we try and get this to be in a better position though? Not quite. Come on, a little bit more, little tiny bit more. Come on. There you go. That's nice. That looks nice. So yeah, 190 for I'm gonna say is a very clean one. That you know is probably packed fresh into a sleeve after they've done the picture, because I'm going to tell you now, try and take a picture of these in a sleeve is awful. Doesn't do them justice. But yeah, you try and get yourself a nice clean Ultimate Rare of this, or a nice clean Secret Rare of this, you're definitely looking probably this price or more. I would suggest doing a little bit of research, see what you can find, but yeah, if you want it just for a collection, I definitely recommend getting it if you've got the money to spend on something like this. Now, if you want something a bit cheaper from the collector's rare while it is still cheaper, there's always a chance it can uptick. The only reason why I don't think it would uptick, besides possibly people just trying to bite off the market because it's rare, is because this is the deck boss of Dream Mirrors, and Dream Mirrors are god awful, like trash. It's not even worth setting on fire because you're wasting fire. That's how trash these are, and that makes me sad because they should be decent. I think Rev's Cards will be making a deck review with this in and actually doing a Dream Mirror's final interpretation. But yeah, Daedalus is used in a few other decks as well, like Deep Sea Daedalus. I think there's going to be a light Leviathan Daedalus as well. The cheapest in English, you're looking around the 57.50 marks, probably looking about 60 euros all in for postage. If you're looking for a cheap collector's rare, this is probably what you're looking for, as it is the cheapest collector's rare on market. I don't think one's sold for 250. But yeah, if you're looking for something cheap, just to say, hey, I've got a collector's rare for your collection, obviously. There you go. Something nice. IP Masquerena. Starlight rare. So we're going back in Starlights now. It's going to have a high value. It's a very uncommon card. It's 680 in English, apparently. Let's have a quick look at the old card. Very sparkly. The only thing I hate about Starlights is the fact that some of them look super fake because of like that sprinkly effect that they have. It makes me a bit sad. But yeah, it's going to be expensive. It's a one-off in a deck, so people can get away with it being a bit more pricey. They are quite uncommon as it is, but this is the sort of price range you look for. If you have it and you are thinking about you need the money, definitely get selling it. I'm not saying you'll sell it instantly, but if you put it up for say like 450, there's probably a good chance you're going to sell it. Unchained Twins Asura. I keep hearing people hoping this is going to be a good deck at some point in the future, as I'm expecting more and more support for this deck. But I think it's just people obviously buying out the Starlight Res. It's a Starlight Res, we've got to buy it out kind of thing. I have no idea how much this was when it came out, but these are your price points now. A lot in English around this sort of price points, you can see what people are after. Now, there was a point, yeah, not too long ago, before everyone just went max buying all the rarities because we need the rarities, that these were actually quite a cheap card. And I considered buying one of these for my collection just because it was cheap. Should I have done? Yes. Did I? No. Am I silly? Sometimes. Normally. So you are looking around like the 200 to 250 mark now. Unless you want French. And then there you go. It's your cheapest in French. Nearly half the price. Yeah, people have just got this kind of like weird like rose tinted glasses on where because it's a Starlight Rare it has to be worth money. Per se, yes, that is true, but not always the case. Gorgon Empress of the Evil Eyed, unless they get some really, really good archetype, like just powering up, it's a trash deck. Like, literally the only good monster in this deck is the super hard to get hold of original boss card that no one plays this card for because it's a terrible deck. Like, literally, the 3 decks that came out of this Builder Box deck set was Witchcrafters, which is still dead in the water after all the support it's been given. Was it Infinitrax? Which aren't necessarily dead in the water, but generally get splashed into other engines because they're not that great on their own. And then Evil Eyed, which has basically just been left on the floor and said, like, well, we'll sort you out when we want to sort you out, because we don't really want to sort you out today. So, yeah. And then Cinnamon Great Pyro Phoenix. Again, this was a super cheap card not long ago. Before this, there was a few around about the 60 to 65 mark. Now your cheapest one here is going to be in Spanish, but then the English one isn't too bad. But yeah, again, people are just going like, it's a collector, it's a Starlight Rare, so it must be worth money. And that's not necessarily the point with some of these cards. Some of the market's the highest rarity. Yes, this is the highest rarity of this card. Do you think people are going to be playing this in their decks? Probably not. If you see someone at a regionals playing this or whatever, fair enough to them, but I think you're an idiot. Collection, sure. Decks, maybe not. As much as you hear me say, hey, buy for the, bling at your deck, sometimes it's not worth paying that, like, stupid price. When it was 60, sure, you go for it, you get your 2 what you want, but don't go and buy this now at, like, nearly 200. Same with this bad boy. Mr. Effect Veiler. It has an ultra rare, I believe. And yet people are here trying to pay these prices. I think you can get like 2 ultra rares for this price. It might have changed, I haven't checked recently, but we have to do it in the future video. But the cheapest English is 600. Although it says PM offers, which seems a bit strange. So yeah. Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. I'm pretty sure this card hasn't seen any meta play at all. Or any player in general. It's an okay card, but yeah, people thinking it's worth a lot of money because it's a Starlight Rare. Don't be wrong, but it's an okay card. Eerie of the War Charmer, Gentle. Again, Starlight Rare. in all fairness, this card probably will see play at some point. It's a generic water, I believe. I wish there was a card here. I think it's a generic water, like you see. It's a water. I can't see, I'm too blind to see what this says. Let's click on it, that's what it says. Here you go. 2 monsters. I think it's water. I can't speak German. But what we're looking for in English. English, here you go. You're looking at nearly 500. In English it says 2 monsters including a water monster. Well, there you go. A very generic water monster. It has to be at least one. You're probably going to play 2. We've got the Charmer deck coming up soon. I can honestly see people just trying to have like max rarity Charmers, but that's how we go. Lightning Storm. Start rare. Now, if you saw House of Champs video not so long ago, they did say that when they were doing regionals before the lockdown, people were getting targeted for having this rarity of card in their decks because it's slightly thicker and it Pringle curls slightly. So when you go and obviously shuffle your deck and put it down, if your opponent goes, Judge, that guy's deck there slightly pringled, you need to disqualify him. Judge will come over and check and goes, yeah, that deck does look a bit pringled. What's that card there? You turn it over. Oh, it's a Lightning Storm. Yeah, that looks like you've been tampering with your cards. That's it. Get out. So you wasted all your money going to a regional or going to a tournament. You lost all the money you put into like hotel room. You've lost your money for entry. The worst part of it, Konami knows this issue, and Konami doesn't want to turn around and go, hey, look, we all know that these Lightning Storms are like they bend. We know that they bend, and we're going to tell you that we know that they bend. But instead of being like, you know what, we've done a second printing of these, just so the ones that are bending are fixed, we're just going to disqualify you for spending your money. Thank you for being a patron of our game. Get out. But yeah. So in all fairness, as much as people like this, as I said, collection cards, sure, you get this for collection. Don't play this card in a deck. I'm pretty sure you can get at least 3 Lightning Storms for the price you're going to pay for one of these. Buy your 3 Lightning Storms. Don't look at buying these versions. Just because there's no point of you going to a tournament and then getting kicked out because you brought this version. Sky Striker Ace Rose. So, before Sky Strikers did that amazing win with Ryan Hugh not so long ago, this card was having a lot of trouble being sold. To the point of where the sites that still had it available in the UK were selling it at like £100 because they just didn't want it in their stock anymore. They couldn't get rid of it. The second Ryan Hugh won, and I'm going to say this probably because it was obviously like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in America, a lot of the UK stores didn't see this happening. They all got up in the morning, noticed that all their roses had been brought out for them for like the £100, and then the second you look at Card Market or anywhere else, yeah, the prices shot up to like £200-300. Now, this is damaged to some degree. Ooh, sir, that's real damage. That's not like a little nick on the corner. Someone's punched that card. You're crazy, sir. This guy's got a playset. This is what I'm saying. This guy was like, you know what? I'm gonna order that card and get 3 of them, put them up, get me back if I just sell one of them. Fair play to you, mate. Again, if you've got cards like this and you want to sell them, consider selling them. Unless you want to keep one for a collection, I wouldn't keep these in all fairness. Even if you think about playing them. Same as I said with the Gentle. It's a Charmer. It's a Fusion. Yeah, it's in the extra deck. Sneak Monster, not a Fusion Monster. And here we go. So cheapest in English is $3.50. Again, really, if you're a massive fan of Charmers and you want them in collection, and maybe you'll play this card, but it's a lot of money sort of just be holding on to. Do I think they'll all be worth it in the future? Maybe 1 or 2 of them, but not a lot of them, as I've already said. Possibly in the extra deck, you can put it in there if it starts pringling and someone goes, oh, the card there's pringling's terrible. It's like, dude, it's an extra deck. I don't have any extra searching ability. I don't run Pot of Extravagance. I'm not going to be milling my deck, and I know which ones are where. You know, there's nothing. They could all literally be bent in half and it wouldn't matter. But yeah, the second that goes into a main deck, you're stuck. That's where you're going to have a lot of issues. I mean, I don't know how Konami looks at it that way. That's how I feel it would be looked at. Time Thief Perpetua. Yeah, again, she came down. I think at one point she was down to about 80 as well. And then that weird wave of, I'm going to say, Americans, we've got money to spend. This $1,200 is burning a hole in my pocket. We've got to buy everything we can find. There's no ghost rares. There's no ultimate rares left. Let's go get all the collector's rares. And they went from being 100, 90-ish, 110, and they just started spiking. And that's the thing. If you start looking at when some of these spikes happened, it's all around when the stimulus checks popped up. Now, fair play to the Americans and getting the stimulus checks to try and kickstart the economy. I don't necessarily think that they had the idea of people buying cards was how they were going to kickstart the economy. But, yeah, you know, it's worth money either way. Apple to Bodegas, as I said, with the Charmers. I mean, this one's very expensive. But I can kind of see someone wanting to hold this one. You've got to remember, though, the second that this goes in the deck and you start shuffling or play with it, it's gone from excellent or near mint to being played. Light play is still light play. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this beauty. German. I can't read. Ooh. Ooh. So, yeah. Cheapest in English is like $9.50. Up to 1,000. Over 1,000. Six grand. Okay. So, yeah. Again, very nice collection card. Maybe I could see it going in an extra deck just because it's an extra deck card, so it's not so noticeable if it starts to bend because of its rarity. But nonetheless, again, Charmers. We're still missing Hinata as a last Charmer to be shiny like this. Although I wouldn't say no if they gave her an ultimate rare. And that's if we don't get light and dark. There you go. Cheapest in English is nearly 600. Is this card seeing play? I don't think this card's even seeing play. So, cool if it's actually worth 600. I don't think it is. But again, extra deck monster. Marine Seahorse, as I said before. Main monster decks. Sorry. Main deck monsters. There we go. Suffer from the whole Pringling effect. If this starts pushing out, obviously it can be in your water decks. It can be in your marine cesses. But yeah. Whew. Only selling as a playset. Yeah, if you were selling the whole playset for that, I'm sure. But you ain't. So, yeah, as I said, with higher rarities, you've got to be super careful in the main deck. Because the second those cards start to lift even a little bit, it's not even worth you going that day. It's not even worth you spending the money to get there. And then last but not least, just because this was a super cheap one at one point, as it was down to 48. And so I'm sure I saw at one point this was down to like £30. Like people didn't want this card. Storm Dragon's Return. Was Rampage. Cheapest in English is 115. It's still it's not near mint. Come on, it's a good at best. But yeah, even the bad ones are getting bought out and listed for high prices because it's the rarity, but they're not worth it in some respects. But what do you guys think? Personally, if you pull one and you want to sell it, you sell it. They're worth a lot of money at the moment because there's an inflation on them. But I don't really think they're worth buying. Cat's staring at me. So that's totally up to me. If you've got money to burn, go burn it. But for now, I've been your host to Get Swiftly. Peace out. Tomorrow, so Saturday, I will look at doing a competitive hero deck that doesn't include certain expensive cards if I can. I will be using, I believe, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. I might have to use something else. I don't use any of the online stuff as a rule, so this will be a lot of experience for me and you. But we'll see what we can do together. So, goodbye. Have yourselves a good Friday. It's the end of the week.